grateful for getting invited here. I see a lot of friends sitting in the audience. I'm very grateful that you gave me the opportunity to come here and speak with you this forum. I'm also very grateful to Ambassador Karabilis for his leadership. He's truly transformed for the short duration that he's been here. He's transformed, and he's in the process of transforming the relationship between Europe and Pakistan. Of course, is for us. We deep relationships with Europe, and they're all one of our largest partners. So this relationship is very important. I'm very grateful for all the excellencies who've been leading the charge, and also grateful to His Excellency for putting it all together for us. I'm also to Peter Stabs was a lot of effort to this together, just a few months or so, and has put together so elegantly that it looks like, oh wow, it's always like this. Of course, two thumbs up to the Ministry of Commerce. They've done a fantastic job. Also to SAFC. From my perspective, that's all this is a good remark, right? But from my I think all of these relationships in synergy. And synergy for what? For wealth creation, for national creation, not just Pakistan, but in all the countries of our partners. I personally think that at the heart of wealth creation is productivity. And if you have productivity, you can get from technology. But long-term productivity or sustainable productivity comes from innovation. So I think through the partnerships that we have put forth over the past few days, we are creating this engine for innovation and innovation. And I think if we do that, this would lead to diffusion of technology over a period of time and eventually towards wealth creation. This is perhaps the most credible and fantastic platform for what I'm calling innovation technology. When people meet, they just don't share businesses, they just don't share technologies. They share the understanding of how business operates. And sometimes test understanding of how business doesn't naturally proliferate. So when people meet, cultures meet, technologies, new ways of thinking take place, new business models come forth, fantastic ideas somewhere, unicorn ideas in some form, they may find their voice in the global value chain. And that basically is the key change. Because change is nothing from people, particularly the young people, that change is on the horizon. So one home run this and we'd have confidence in our togetherness, and our youth would have confidence that the change shall come out. So once again, I welcome you on behalf of the Prime Minister of Pakistan, on behalf of the Minister of Commerce. I welcome you all here because this is, and these four are singularly most important for us. Europe is particularly important for us because of the innovation ecology that it has. It's not just the businesses. These businesses and these businessmen are the products of the greatest universities that sit in Europe over hundreds of years. Things that you can just replicate. You can wake up one morning and put a brick and mortar, and voila, this is how it's going to be. So I think when your businesses come here, they bring that tradition, they bring knowledge, and they bring a whole new system which our young generation can be inspired by ingenuity, human ingenuity, and new thoughts and ideas. So welcome you all. These things can be done in a very sustainable manner, because the second element, one important element is productivity, and the second important element is sustainability. If you really wanted to create wealth, you can burn everything that you have in one go, and that's it. That's it. You've created, which would be a little blip, which would be gone. But the art of balancing the resources in a sustainable manner, the art of creating an engine that keeps going and keeps giving and keeps going and keeping, is basically what we look forward to. And towards this responsible use of resources, Europe is coming up. Europe is indeed the champion, probably the only left of climate change, environmental responsibility, and the revolution. So I really think come up with a certain hurdle rate for the rest of the world, in the way of CBAM, in the way of Green Compact, in the way of new relationships which are going to roll out beginning this year and onwards. And I think that creates an opportunity for us, but it also creates a hurdle for us. I was also deeply critical of all of these hurdles, if even when they, but today when I found the hurdle been created, framework has been created to jump this hurdle, and the European Union has committed to investing 20 billion euros into this framework and particularly helping the SMEs towards camping, towards carbon innovation, towards creativity. When I realized that putting their money where their mouth is, and truly this is not just an industry, actually a big compact in which new clusters hopefully shall emanate. And I can give you a number of examples. Give this example. I studied Sweden and Finland many years ago. I studied their innovation college. I found out, Finland was once forest, and Nokia was a rubber and tire company. And in order for them to save their forest and save their environment for times to come, they came up with the most high environmental standards. In the year 2004, when I studied their innovation college, it was 1/3 of the world's environmental technology. So these are great to create new clusters, new businesses. Right now, our kids might not have imagined, but they're giving time, and they're also enabled by providing resources, technologies, collaboration that you've. They are going to be, this can potentially become a seed for all of the great transitions, the list of which I have mentioned. Pakistan is a very taxing environment. If you look at the demand function of Pakistan, if you look at the kind of devastations we face in terms of climate change, whether flood or other ancillary externalities, is tremendous. 1,000 people dead. We've had about 20,000 people injured or disabled. We've had 4 million people displaced, about 1.8 billion school days lost. I know many people which have such taxing function, sophisticated function, such cruel demand function. Any young woman in this room who comes up with a solution to this kind of hardship is going to have a unicorn. So this problem here, with participation of the world's best ideas and best companies and best thoughts, I think that is going to be expanded globally. So that this is a great beginning, a good beginning, a great beginning. Personally, deeply, I spent the last our Secretary Commerce was here. We met and he told me what conversations transpired about the SME sector, and that inspires me. Because I think when I look in the mirror, honestly, I see is a dinosaur. When I told my children, and I was my son and my daughter-in-law, and I didn't even get what they were talking about. They were talking about stacks, they were talking about agentification. And I'm like, whoa, where am I? And I think the focus that this forum has afforded to the youth in the way of thinking SME is inspiring for me. There's big revolution brewing outside, globally. There's a revolution of electrification. This revolution of electrification is an underpinning of metals and minerals. We have cognitive technology revolution brewing in the way of AI, ubiquitous access to information, and information revolution which is taken shape and form. We have a biotech revolution, we have a nanotech revolution, and they all feed into what I can see moving forward. The that I have with my friends' children, with my children, with many young people who don't get that opportunity to get finance, to come up with this, to articulate these ideas, these stacks and gibberish speak into real solutions, globally exportable. I think what you've done today, putting our company together with your company, focus on essence and making an actual allocation towards giving a high green it's festival. So I'm very grateful to you all. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to come here with you. Bernard Shaw used to say, you know, and I'm going to paraphrase because, you know, I don't recall the exact words. Look at the way they are and ask why. Today I